Hello guys, Dillo304 here. So this is a video that's been requested for several months and I just haven't had time to make it. But of course this weekend I'm finally home and not doing anything for once, so I now have time to make more videos. And on that subject I want to just say that I apologize for the real lack of videos lately. The only video I made in December was my iPhone 7 unboxing. That was like the only video I made in December. So I'm trying to pick back up. I was looking at my YouTube stats and I made half as many videos in 2016 that I did in 2015. And that's just because life is getting busy, but yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to get back on track here. So, yeah, hopefully that will be a thing. But as you can see, of course, we have a ton of cell phones, so this is going to be the updated cell phone collection video that many people have been requesting. And of course, I have quite a few. I've gotten a bunch more since I recorded, well, not a bunch, but enough more since I recorded the last one, so hopefully that should make it interesting enough. Now, I think first I'm going to go over the smartphones and then go over all the dumb phones, so let's go ahead and get on with it. I'll go ahead and start with the first phone that I actually use on a daily basis. This is my 128 gig rose gold iPhone 7. Of course, I've had this for only about 3 weeks now, so yeah, but it is a very nice phone. I quite like it, and yeah, well, I will do a full review on this phone eventually. I just need to, again, have the motivation and the time. But yeah, that's my main daily driver as of right now. Totally forgot this post-production, but of course my iPhone 6 is also something I own that I don't usually keep with my other iPhones, so that's why I forgot it. It usually sits on my desk over here. I'm just going to kind of put this in the video. But anyway, yeah, this is the iPhone 6. It's a 16 gig. It is a Sprint model, but it is unlocked, and it does work. It's got a crack in the screen because I originally bought it with a cheaper screen, and it shattered and broke, and so now I've replaced it with this OEM screen that does have a crack in it. It was the cheapest one I could find on eBay, so that's why. But yeah, there it is, my iPhone 6. Okay, sorry about that. Now we can actually get into it. Now that the iPhones are booted up, those are the only phones I forgot to turn on, so yeah. Anyway, back to what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and start. We have the iPhone 5C over here. This is an 8 gig iPhone 5C. I believe it's for Sprint. I think it has a bad IMEI, but yeah, I actually got this from, well, I got it from my friend Chris, who got it from my friend Colin, so it's kind of been around the block. But yeah, it's just, you know, your typical iPhone 5C that I need to software update. It's on 10.0.2. Is that jailbreak? Is that, oh, well, I guess, no. I was about to say, is that jailbreakable, but this is a 32-bit device, so no chance. But anyway, yeah, there's the 5C. Of course, here is the first iPhone 4S I have. This one is on the latest 9.3.5, I believe. Of course, it runs like a pile of dog, but yeah, that's how it is. Decided to have this one on the latest firmware. This one is for AT&T and has actually, this one is unlocked, actually, so it'll work on any GSM carrier. Here is my iPhone, my iPhone, yeah, this is okay. This is my iOS 6 iPhone 4S. So this one is an 8 gig Sprint. I believe this one is a 16. This is an 8 gig Sprint one, and this one is in pretty kind of sad shape, but that's okay because I got this from one of my friends, Hunter Yelton, which he has a YouTube channel. He sent this to me for $5, so I was like, sweet. But anyway, yeah, it is a Sprint one with a bad IMEI, but I just use it for iOS 6 because I was able to use that exploit that came out for A5 devices to get it back down to 6.1.3. So that's cool. I have one Retina display iPhone with iOS 6, so that's pretty cool. Moving on, here we have the iPhone 3G. I believe this is also an 8 gig one. This one works, the battery's just dead in it. This is an iPhone 3G, so, wait, did I say 3G for this? That's a 3GS. And then this is an iPhone 3G. This one does not work. It has has some sort of hard brick issue. Then of course this is my original iPhone. This is also an 8 gig. This one is fully functional, mostly. Okay, the battery's dead. Whoops. But anyway, yeah. The only thing wrong with this one is that the screen is cracked up here. The bottom cover doesn't really stay on, and the home button sometimes doesn't work. So yeah, it's not really in good condition, but it's good enough for my collection purposes. And this one is running iOS excuse me, iPhone OS 3.1.3. So that's cool. I wanted to get this one back down to iOS 1.0, but this is a refurbished iPhone, so it's not an original one, so you can't install that older firmware on this because of the updated, I'm not sure. I know that with the 3GS, if it has the updated bootloader, then you can't do it, but I don't know if it's the same story for this one. But anyway, yeah, that is about it for the iPhones. Now let's move on to my next phone. Let me just go ahead and make sure there are no notifications on this one. This is an LG Tribute 5, I believe, or actually wait, hang on, I got it down here. I used to know. It's an LG Phoenix 2 actually. The Tribute 5 I think is the Boost Mobile version, but yeah, this is an AT&T Go phone. I bought this because I bought this on Black Friday because it was only like 30 bucks, and it runs 6.0 Marshmallow, so that's pretty cool for such a a low-end phone to have the latest software. So yeah, it's got 6.0. That's pretty cool. Of course, it isn't the latest anymore because we have Nougat, but close enough. This is a Snapdragon 210 device. It's not really that amazing, but yeah, there we are. So, LG phone. Next, we have this Samsung Infuse 4G. This one actually works. It runs CyanogenMod. Is it 12.1? No, I don't think it is. I think it's like CM10 or something. But it's Android 4.4, so whichever one that is. Battery's dead on that, so I can't boot it up. This is the ZTE Maven. This is also a prepaid phone. It's not really that good. I did a review on this, so if you want more information on that, there it is. It's decent, I guess, for a brand new phone for such a low price, but that's about it. Moving on. Oh, dang, I forgot to boot this one up. This is a Palm Pre Plus, so this one's pretty cool. So I guess I'll go ahead and wait for this one to boot up so I can demonstrate it too. I should have done this beforehand, but whatever. Okay, so I booted it up. Now, of course, this phone required some sort of like a command line tool to get past the activation, because the activation servers for this phone are down, so you can't get past the setup screen without that exploit. But yeah, of course, this phone runs WebOS, and then of course there's a touchpad down here. I did a video on this phone. It wasn't a very good video, but it was a video, and yeah, so I'm not going to go over everything, but the Palm Pre was pretty interesting phone for the time. This came out around 2009, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that phone is pretty cool, and it did I can draw some like similarities between WebOS and like iOS, for example. So neat phone to have in the collection for sure. Of course, this one, okay, and I did label the other phones that I can't remember the names of. This is a BlackBerry Bold 9000 from 2008. I think this one works, but I think the battery's dead in it, so that's why. And then this one is a Bold 9700 from 2009. And this one, I guess the battery just died on. It was on a couple minutes ago, but yeah, okay. So it is a BlackBerry and it does work. So yeah, that basically goes over all the smartphones. Now I'm going to go over the dumb phones. And of course, this is going to be a little quicker because there's not much to say about these dumb phones. Just go through them. So this one, of course, this is a Samsung SCH R350 phone from 2009. I believe this one does work. This one is probably the oldest phone I have in my collection. This is an Ericsson DH618. I'm not sure what year it's from. I couldn't find anything on the internet, but I assume it's from like the mid-late 90s. Yeah, pretty cool. I think this one works. It's just I don't have a battery charger for it. This is one of the phones that the Maritime Man sent me. Same with these. Like a lot of these Nokias were sent to me by the Maritime Man. This is a Nokia 252 from 1997. This one does not work. I know that for a fact, but it is kind of cool to have. And then this one is the Nokia 5125. This one's from 1998, according to my online sources. And of course, this one looks pretty much exactly the same, but this is a 5165, and according to the internet, this one's from 2002. But I'm not 100% sure on that. They look pretty similar. So yeah. Here we have another similar looking Nokia phone. This is again another Nokia 5165. So these are the same phone. This one's just I guess it has a nicer faceplate on it. This one is the Nokia 3285V from 2002. Again, same story, same kind of candy bar type style phone. Moving on to the next Nokia. This is a Nokia 3586i from 2003. This one I believe works. Like all these I think work. I just don't have the chargers for it at the moment. This is a Nokia 2275. I believe this one works as well. And yeah, that one's from 2003. This one's a little beaten up, as you may be able to tell, but you know, why not? Still have it. And then this one is a Nokia 6016i from 2004. I don't have the back cover for this one, but it does work as far as I know. This is a smaller one. This is a Nokia 6230B from 2004, and you may be able to tell that this one actually has a camera on it. And something else that's kind of cool is it actually has a 32 megabyte MMC card, not an SD card. This is a multimedia card, so this is like before secure digital. But yeah, pretty neat to have that, so I just keep that in there because that's really cool to have. It's very retro and a piece of history almost. So yeah, there's that. Moving on, I think we'll catch this Samsung phone next. This phone, I swear to God, I have not charged in like a year, and it still turns on every time I turn it on. This is a Samsung SCH A310 from 2002, and of course it does have the antenna, so that's pretty neat. Of course, it has a blue backlit monochrome display, so that's pretty interesting, and it still has the date right. What the heck? Wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, it has a smaller screen on the outside, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and turn it off before it dies. So yeah, again, I've not charged this phone in forever. I have the original box and everything for this phone though. This one is an audio Vox. Let's go and see if this one turns on. I don't think it's going to. But yeah, it's a tiny little audio Vox phone. I believe the model number is the CDM 8200 BMS. Of course, I could not find some information on this one, but I'm not sure when it was released, but it looks like to be from the same time period as those. This one is a Nokia 1221. Of course, I think this is one of the like most popular Nokia phones ever sold right here, the 1221. Pretty cool phone. Moving on to this one, this is a Nokia 6585 from 2003. This is a PC Mobile, so that's a Canadian carrier. Again, this was one of the phones that was sent to me by the Maritime Man. This one is actually kind of special to me. This is a Nokia 6030. That's really hard to read, but whatever. This one's from 2005. This was my first cell phone. I had a silver one for T-Mobile, but it's the same phone. So this was the very first cell phone I ever had, so that was pretty cool. This one is a Nokia 6102B. Pretty similar. This was my second cell phone. Again, I had the T-Mobile version, so it was the 6102i, I think. But yeah, same old phone. I remember it like it was yesterday. This one is the Nokia 2366i from 2007. This is basically a Verizon version of that one. So there's that. And then, of course, yeah, this one's from 2006. I keep forgetting to mention the dates, but that's okay. You can read. Okay, and then moving on, this is a Nokia 6263 from 2007. My sister actually had a phone like this a long time ago. This one, wow, this phone actually has a history, but yeah, there it is. It still works as far as I know. It just doesn't have a battery in it. This one is one of my dad's old phones, actually. This very phone was the phone my dad used in 2006, as you can see, the Nokia 6086. So yeah, it is missing a key, but other than that, it's in pretty decent shape. Moving on, we have the Motorola W376G. Let's see if this one powers on. Nope, I don't think it's gonna. But yeah, this is basically a really cheap Razor, or a Crazer rather, that was for the track phone carrier, so prepaid pretty much. That's from 2008. So there you are. Of course, this is another very popular phone in the mid to late 2000s. This is the LG Chocolate. I didn't label this one because I knew what it is. But yeah, this one is pretty prolific, or at least was back then. The battery bulged in this one, so I don't know if I guess this is the battery here. The battery bulged pretty bad in this one, so that's why it won't turn on. But yeah, as you can see, that battery's pretty expanded there, so that's actually kind of a safety hazard. Might do something with that. Yep, there's that. This is an LG KS360 from 2008. I actually got this from a viewer, I remember, a long time ago. And yeah, this one is in really rough shape, but it does work the last time I tried it. Moving on, this is another really interesting flip phone, actually. This is the Samsung SCH U750 from 2010. This was a Verizon exclusive, if I remember. But this was a Samsung phone with an e-ink keypad. So when you can open the phone like this, of course, and use it, or you could open the phone like this, and the keypad would change to a QWERTY layout. This one does not work anymore. The keypad doesn't change. It just glitches out when you turn on the phone. But yeah, that was a really cool concept at the time. I thought it was very cool when I first saw those things. And then these two phones are obviously the exact same. This is the Motorola W175. These are both from 2007. One is actually from an Italian network, so that's kind of interesting. Found it at a thrift store. And the other one is a track phone. So, yeah. This is a Motorola E815. It has a very similar UI to the Motorola Razor. Of course, it's going to turn on here, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I believe this phone was, mid-2000s, same old sort of thing. So, yeah, not too much I could say about it there. But as you can see, it has the very... God. Yeah, it has the very same UI as a Razor of the same time period. So, there's that. So there you go. And speaking of Razors, as you can see, I have 4 Motorola Razors. Of course, this is a silver V3. This one doesn't work. It has a cut display cable, so that doesn't work. This one is a black V3. I believe this one does work, but it is in very rough shape, as you may be able to tell. And the hinge is really floppy, and I don't know how long it's going to continue to work. Oddly enough, my pink one is the one in the best condition. This is a pink Motorola Razr V3, and of course this is one of the most popular phones before the iPhone. This was actually like the iPhone before the iPhone. I had one of these back in the day, loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, it was pretty much the thinnest phone available at the time. So yeah, they're really cool. And then of course we had the V3M, which was the Verizon version with a 1 megapixel camera instead of a 640 by 480 camera. So that's cool. Of course, here we have the LG Crazer, another popular Motorola phone during the time period. This one is for AT&T. This phone does work as far as I remember. And yeah, pretty cool. I used to have a friend that had one of these. Pretty cool. Actually, if you go back all the way to the beginning of my channel, you will find a video of this phone back in like 2010. I mean, if you don't believe me, you could search. But yeah, there it is. And then here is this. This is a phone that I used for quite a while. This is a Motorola Razr 2 V9X. This is not the exact same phone. I ended up selling my original one after getting an iPhone 4 back in 2011. But this phone is very cool. I will go ahead and turn it on because, again, this phone is pretty special to me. I did have to replace the back cover and buy a new battery for it. And it's actually kind of funny because the battery I bought says engineering sample on it. So that is kind of funny. It does have an SD card slot. It supports up to 8 gigs if I remember correctly. And this one is an AT&T device, of course. So, yeah, kind of interesting. But yeah, of course, we have a better UI than the original Razr. And yeah, this phone's just better than the Razr all around. But, of course, this came out in 2008, 2009. The iPhone was already a thing. And yeah, it only survived a couple of years before they axed it and did not replace it. So that's around the same time when the Droid was becoming a thing, and that was a big thing for Motorola. But yeah, there you go. I'll go ahead and turn that one off. And that basically wraps up the entire video. I went over every phone in my collection. So if you have anything to add in the comments, you can go right ahead. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.